everybody? It's your boy WEEZYFMAMBA, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys once again so much for being here. We really appreciate it. On today's video, we are officially back, ladies and gentlemen, with brand spanking new build videos for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Brand new update just came out today on October 22nd, 2024. And there was a massive change to a lot of grapple changes and metas with people having to reallocate points into strength. So we've shifted some builds around. This is actually a big time change for a lot of these builds. There are a couple of family members and victims that stay the same, but we're going to go ahead and refresh your guys' brains since it's been 4 months since we've been able to make a new build video. So I'm super excited about that. We finally got some new meta. Let's not waste any more time. Let's pop on over. This particular video will be the best family member builds in the game that you can do. I have done extensive research for the last 14 months on this game, and we have done extensive research. Especially today, I have spent the last 6 to 7 hours off stream making new builds, looking at paths, making sure that we give you guys the best attribute points, most attribute points, and the best routes. So just stick around. Let's get to it. I'm so sorry for having a crazy long intro. Let's pop on over and let's take a look at the family builds chat. This is going to be your most updated family builds yet. We're gonna pop on over. We're gonna start with the man of the hour, Hands. Everybody has been kind of going crazy on Reddit because of Hands and his grappling ability. Now that his basic little grapple ability, strength, whatever you guys want to call it from the family side, is insanely huge. It's basically impossible to beat Hands in a grapple right now unless you are 50 strength Leland and you're using grappler and there is no suffocating grip, right? So let's pop off. Let's check it out. We're going to go ahead and go through all of this. This is great. From the previous build video, Hands doesn't change. Once again, your star sign ability, Rip Stall. You're going to go left, left, and mid. Once again, left, left, left is really stupid, and so is left, left. I mean, you can't even go left, left, right. You always want to make sure that you, A, can place traps a little bit faster, and you get that 72-second Rip Stall cooldown. If you don't go mid-left here, your cooldown will be 90 plus seconds instead of 72 seconds. This is a big time, huge buff, okay? This has to be done to the Ripstall cooldown. This is not news. This has been known. 72 seconds, you get your Ripstall back every time. Left, left, mid. The barge, again, we understand that the barge is terrible, but so is increased damage when Ripstalling, and increased defensive barge damage. At least if you hit the barge, it's doing 30% more damage. As far as the skill tree goes, nothing changes from the previous video. We're going up the gut. You're going to pop off and get Barrier Breaker. This is a must-have perk on Hands, especially if you have a lot of people that don't like playing Leatherface, or you're playing solo, or you're playing Family House or Nancy's House, which doesn't require Bubba in the meta. On those two maps specifically, Hands can take care of the barriers if it needs to be done. So right here, boom, Barrier Breaker, right off rip. You get it. Everybody gets it in every build you take. You're going to pop over to the right, and you're going to head up to the first intersection here and take a left. Once you go up to the left, you're going to go up and then take a left again and get this lovely perk called Ripstall. After using the Ripstall ability on an object, the object cannot be interacted again by anyone for 30 seconds. This prevents at least 30 seconds of people redoing what we call like double fuse tech or double valve tech, where they make you Ripstall and then they're camping in a bush right next to you. You walk away and they immediately put it in. This gives you 30 seconds leeway, right? Also, 72-second cooldown on your Ripstall, 30 seconds of that is already depleted because you will have your Ripstall in that. So you just have to guard for 42 seconds and you got your Ripstall back. That's the best obvious route here for this. We're going to head up, take a left, and then obviously we're going for Scout. Scout is a necessity on hands, considering the rest of the perks in this tree are not that great. Scout, of course, is your movement speed is increased by 15%, but stamina regeneration rate is 10% slower. I am so sorry that all these notifications keep popping up on screen. So once again, this is your skill tree route. Sorry. Boom. Okay. And as far as the build, again, Barrier Breaker, Ripstalled, and Scout. Grandpa perks can be anything you choose. Well, I believe is the best out of the bunch here. Doesn't matter what execution you choose. And then your attribute allocation, which is 30 attribute points. You're going to want to go to 47 savagery. And you're going to wonder, why not 50? Because 47 savagery is the same time to kill as 50 on hands. And same with Hitchhiker. We'll get to that later. 47 TTK, 47 savagery, same time to kill as 50 savagery. No need to go above 47. You guys can do your thing. As far as the remaining 3 points, you have two options. A, if you are a feeder and you would like to feed, and you value feeding Grandpa more than having an extra swing, go right ahead and put 3 points into blood harvesting. That way you get 25 blood harvesting, which will equal 100 blood in a vial. However, if you would like to get yourself an extra swing, put it in endurance, okay? 95 blood feeding Grandpa is just as good as getting an extra swing, so it's totally fine. I would prefer it in endurance because, again, if you guys remember my previous meta strategy build videos, there is no need to feed Grandpa, truly. So if you want to be really strong, suffocating grip being back to level 1 really kind of does entice, and so I could see a lot of people deciding to go for 25 and 33 instead of 36, but that is that. As far as any other build on hands, you got nothing. I don't know why there was an extra build there. No other builds, okay? Now, there are going to be a couple of builds each for some of these people. In fact, Sissy's got 3 of them, little preview. We're going to pop on over to the next one, and that is our girl, Nancy. Easily the worst killer in the game. Nancy is tough. Tough to really fit in any meta outside of Family House. And even then, hands is still better with Hitch and Cook. So here's the deal, okay? As far as her star sign ability, we're going to start off with the reduce ability cooldown, hop on over to quicker recharge rate, and finish off with clear vision. Clearly, these are terrible. This clear vision is an absolute must. As known, it helps clear up that spy ability. Really, really good to kind of get those call outs, okay? As far as your build goes, ladies and gentlemen, we have switched up Nancy quite a bit. We have gotten completely rid of Scout, and we are only going to be technically using Nancy to troll or a challenge or Family House, right? What's really nice about Nancy is her savagery is a little bit high. It allows you to do some work, but Poison Claws is back, baby. Poison Claws is back, and we're going to go ahead and show off the skill tree, and then we'll talk about these attribute points. Pop on over to the skill tree. Your first order of business is to take a right. The reason why is because Blood Banker, and you'll pay for that, are not really strong on Nancy. However, Universal Donor is, and we'll get to talking about that shortly. Also, Dinner Bell, not bad, right? But let's pop on over to the left here. Let's make sure we grab Poison Claws, which is right here in the tree. You're gonna then head on up and hang a left. Now, this is a completely different build than we normally run. We normally like to go right and grab the wait a second perk. But let me tell you, This is now changing. Okay. Unrelenting, which I haven't even touched yet, but I promise you this is going to be the meta for her, allowing her to get 30 endurance with 41 savagery. Ladies and gentlemen, paired with poison claws and pins, this is going to be crazy. We'll talk about it here in just a minute. All right, so this allows you to go with this. We're going to pop on over and get Unrelenting. Your endurance is increased by 7. So your base endurance gets bumped up 7 extra attribute points. Pop on over and head on up to the top and finish up at the top left. Doesn't really matter which way you go up top, but Hey Sissy is definitely worse than Strong-Minded. So as far as your loadout goes, you're going to want to go with Poison Claws, Pins and Needles, which again, Pins and Needles, placing a strand of barbed wire has a 25% chance to not consume an inventory item, which means you can place up to 40 traps if it procs for you every time, which is great. And then obviously finishing up with Unrelenting for the increased endurance. Now I placed it already at 26 because when I get in Unrelenting to level 3, this will give me an additional 4 attribute points, which will bring it up to 30. At this point, we bring it up to 30. We now have 33 blood harvesting and 41 savagery. Okay. Now, this is why this is still so good. The trap game, okay, as well as Poison Claws and the promise from Gun and the devs that they are currently working on a Nancy buff. I have a suspicious feeling that trap placement is going to be made much faster, as well as pairing that with Poison Claws and high savagery and mid endurance. Nancy might be a little bit better as long as she can place those traps faster. Again, if you pick her, you're selling right now. She's terrible, but it is what it is, okay? Let's pop on over again to the second loadout. The reason why I told you guys there's a few is because there is. And this one's pretty straightforward. If you're grinding double XP or you are needing to help your friends get to level 5 grandpa much faster, this is a great build to do so. You kind of even everything out. Once again, endurance 26, so it gets to 30 when Unrelenting's level 3 for me. You mid yourself at savagery at 30, but you're really going to be more defensive, applying additional support hits, but also using this blood harvesting to your advantage. Universal Donor allows you to collect blood at an increased rate of 40% from buckets. Keeping Poison Claws because it's just so strong for her, pairing it up, making a nice, decent Nancy blood build, okay? So keep those on lock once again. And that is your Nancy build, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to Sissy. Getting the bottom row done as we speak. Once again, Miss Sissy's Bane, aka her star sign, is going to be left, mid. You want to get that cloud duration a little bit higher, increase the poison duration from to 13.5 seconds, and then the toxic cloud, which is essentially bleed damage in this game, is you're going to want to have the bleed damage, right? Poison seeps into the victim's wounds, causing them to lose health for a short period of time. This is clearly the best way to go with her star sign. Let's go ahead and pop over to the skill tree. Now, she has 3 builds, ladies and gentlemen, 3 freaking builds, and we're going to go ahead and show off each one. Arguably 4 with Donor, but we're going to skip out on the blood build because we already did one with Nancy. So you're going to pop over to the right and you're going to pick up Exterior Alarms, the best grandpa perk in the game. You are then going to pop up and take a right to get Scout. Obviously, nothing has really changed with Sissy because she is so unfortunately in a limbo area for Gun and figure out what to do with her. You're going to continue up and head up and get Fired Up. Okay, Fired Up around after running out of stamina. There's a 75% less delay before stamina starts regenerating again. After that, you're going to pop on up. You're going to pick up and take a left to pick up Efficient Herbalist. We'll talk about more on that later. Nobody Escapes Hell, the second best grandpa perk, maybe the third behind Suffo. And then Wireframe, okay? You can traverse gaps 40% faster and crawl spaces 60% faster. Again, this is the best build for Nancy. Oh, so sorry, for Sissy. And then as far as the reason why there's so many is there's the here. I'll show you. Savagery is a problem. She has 15, is it 10? It's 10 base savagery. What an abomination that they've done to Sissy. They need to up this to 15 minimum, and at least 20 preferably. But it gives you this option to continue about. You got to just put everything into savagery on Sissy, okay? As simple as that. However, there's a couple of ways to do her perks, her builds. First off, doing the wireframe build, this is clearly the fastest way to use Sissy. She is basically unstoppable between gaps. She can run you down. She never runs out of stamina. And it is a absolute god build. But there's a couple of ways you can get around this. We sacrifice what we call wireframe. If you're down to take gaps a little bit slower and you want to poison all of the health bottles on the map, use Efficient Herbalist. This perk is clearly underrated because it allows you to basically poison every health bottle and the victims can never heal. So as long as you got a couple of good teammates that can hold it down while you're getting powder after powder after powder to poison these, or to find the box, you know, the bottles of health to begin with, this is a great, really kind of troll build. And then last but not least is saying fuck wireframe in general and getting 49,000 more swings. We're looking at Easily Tuckered Out. Easily Tuckered Out paired with Fired Up kind of counteracts each other as far as you having 40% slower regeneration rate. So you have 75% less delay, which means it roughly evens out that Fired Up will work at a 35% less delay or 35% slower, faster, whatever, right? So it kind of evens it out, but this gives you the option to still be fast with Scout and continue to regenerate stamina at a faster rate and swing more. These are the three builds for Sissy. I keep saying Nancy. For Sissy. And nothing's going to touch these, man. I promise you that. Just stick with the wireframe build, though. Facts. Okay? Moving on to the two people that did not change in this update, like hands. Sissy kind of changed a little bit because we added more, but here's the deal. There's literally one build you always want to use with Johnny and Hitchhiker, and this is what they are. First off, we're going to go ahead and talk over to Johnny. We're going to check out his footprints hunt, aka his star sign ability, which is dog fucking water. It is up in the running for possibly the worst in the game, right next to Julie, right? The worst star signs in the game. Here we are. You're going to take a right, go mid, and finish up with left. You want to analyze those clues faster just in case you do find footprints. Good luck, because they never fucking pop up for me, right? As far as the skill tree, nothing changed from the previous video. Johnny has stayed exactly the same. I'm just going to go ahead and refresh you guys. You're going to pop on over. You're going to head to the right. You're going to come up and pick up this lovely perk called Violent. Your damage is increased by 20% when carrying a full blood vial. Underrated as fuck, I promise you. Unrelenting. Your endurance is increased by 7. That's going to be your next perk that you're going to want to pop up and grab. Take a right and finish up at the top with Scout. Your movement speed once again is increased by 15%, but stamina regeneration rate is 10% slower. 10% slower, okay? Allocation of perks. Attribute points. Again, Johnny gets a whopping 35 attribute points. Max out savagery, max out endurance, and put shit into your blood harvesting, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be your best bet. 50 savagery and 50 endurance on the same build. Absolutely broken bonkers if you can hit your hits. People are going to think, well, you should probably use big swings. You get more. Fuck big swings. You guys, You get 21 swings as this Johnny. You also get faster, you know what I mean? You're just faster in general. Like, it's just, that's how it is. Big swings, you burn your stamina faster. So this is the wave. And like I said, you're not going to feed anyway. So blood harvesting can be super low. The reason why you don't want to feed is because you're using violent. Okay. Best build in the game for Johnny, bar none. Super easy to kind of go over him because he hasn't really changed much. And Hitchhiker, 0% changes as well, ladies and gentlemen, just like the previous old build. We're going to go ahead once again and go over this. Star sign. Start in the middle. Increase that escape difficulty by 19%. The reason why we start mid is I'll show you. Increase breaking free of traps is 28% more difficult. You're only getting a 9% increase. So trust me, going from 13% damage to 33% damage is better. Middle, right, increase the amount of damage inflicted on a victim when snared by a trap by 33%, and finish up top with bleed damage. Any victim caught in a trap continues to take damage over a short period of time. Bleed damage is clearly the best way to go here, simply because these two are terrible. And just understand something. The more you get them to bleed, the better. Okay? The better. I promise you. As far as the skill tree go, same exact thing. We're popping up the top, going straight through the middle. You're then going to head to the left and to the right and get your first perk, serrated. Once again, extra bleed damage. Holder takes HP. Victims hit by the perk holder take 1 HP per second of extra damage for the next 5 seconds. Okay? Trust me. We all know how strong serrated is. You're then going to pop up and take a left at the top here and grab Feral. Feral. We're going to increase our savagery by 7. And then finish up with Scout, which is right above it, increasing that movement speed. This also gives you the option for Nobody Escapes Hell and easily, arguably, the best or second best perk in the game for grandpa perks, Suffocating Grip. And right now, Suffocating Grip is fucking broken. Broken, chat. Broken, okay? So, definite must. Feral, Serrated, Scout. Once again, like I mentioned earlier in the hand section, the savagery is 47. TTK for Hitchhiker. 47 savagery is the same as 50 savagery. Do not waste those extra 3 points. Make sure that you put them into endurance. We want to get those 6 swings, but 5 swings to kill somebody. So you get an extra swing in case you make a mistake or you already started using stamina. You could still get 5 swings. All it takes to kill somebody with 50 savagery in this game is 5 swings with this build. Okay, 5 swings. Best build, bar none, for Mr. Hitchhiker. Okay. Now, the last two are tried and trusty cook. We actually have made a change. We're going back to the middle routes. Now, I will say this, there is a second cook build that I have finally found that is also very strong, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pop on over and take a look. Now, there's 2 ways to use his ear, like I explain every time we do a build video. If you are playing in solo queue, I would highly recommend going right, mid, right. That way the highlighted victims are marked for the entire family, and you know how solo queue is, right? However, if you are in a party and on comms, you're going to want to go right, mid, left. Get that focus speed a little bit, but it doesn't tag for the family. But if you are on comms, you can tell your teammates in your party where they are located. So they don't need to technically see the red. As long as your callouts are good, great. If you don't trust your callouts or you play solo queue a lot, you're definitely going to want to go right, mid, right and get that all family sees noise. Okay. Skill tree. We're going up the gut, ladies and gentlemen. Unrelenting. Grab it. I'll explain later. check this out. Exterior alarms, the best grandpa perk, right? You know what else is absolutely underrated and cracked? Animal Farm. Another grandpa perk that procs at level 1. And with people using Scout Bubba or Sissy builds or anything like that, there is a lot of people that have exterior alarms already equipped. So you can pop off with Animal Farm if you don't need 2 people running exterior alarms, obviously. So this is definitely the start. Come on up, grab Serrated. Right next to it, grab Scout. And Cook's best and most vital perk. And if you're not using it, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Security pins. Added locks are 50% harder to unlock for victims. Every time no security pins Cook comes into play, it's called out. Yo, no pins. Man, this Cook a dumbass. No security pins? That's crazy. Dude, I'm shredding these. Security pins not even here, dude. What an idiot. Those are what you hear every time a Cook doesn't bring security pins to the table. It's an absolute must, ladies and gentlemen. An absolute must. Pop on over here and finish up by getting the rest of your attribute points, ETO, and activated. Build number 1 is tried and true, trusty security pins, Serrated, and Scout. Nothing has ever changed here. TTK with Cook is a little bit different. Hands and Hitchhiker's TTK was 47. Okay, guys, I'm so fucking sorry. This has got to go, right? How the fuck do I turn off notifications? Get out of here, dude. 42 savagery on Cook is 50 savagery on Cook. It's the same TTK. Unlike Hitch and Hands that require 47, this only requires 42. It's still bugged this many months later. 42 is 50 on Cook. Don't worry about going any further. You already get 100 blood vial with 25 base harvesting. So put the rest in endurance and get that extra swing. 34. However, chat, Serrated. Some people think, it's good, but is it really that good? There's a second build here, chat. And here it is. Instead of bringing Serrated to the table, we bring Unrelenting instead. You increase your endurance by 7 points, going from 34 endurance to 41. Cook. Max savagery, essentially, again, 42 equals 50, but also pairing it with 41 endurance, Scout, and security pins. This is the new wave, ladies and gentlemen. And I promise you, with all of these victims having to reallocate their toughness points to strength, endurance, because endurance was fixed, and proficiency, Serrated might be unnecessary now. We are going to be rocking Unrelenting for a hot minute. Absolute game changer for Cook because it allows you to get multiple more swings and still keep Scout and security pins. Let me know what you guys think. And of course, the man of the hour, you guys know me for Leatherface gameplay. I'm going to take a drink because you guys are going to need to sit back and praise what you're about to see. Ladies and gentlemen, with the entire fuck up to rough cut, with the entire change to grappling, people now have to take so much more points and reallocate them to strength, reallocate them to endurance because of the endurance change. Big Swings is back, ladies and gentlemen. Big Swings is back. Let's go ahead and take a look at the star sign, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, overheat reduction, go right mid. You will not stall. This has not changed in 12 months. This is the only way to ever use Bubba's MAME, aka his star sign ability. If you go any other way, you are going to stall. Period. End of story. No ifs, ands, or titties about it. Okay? Moving on. The skill tree. Typical. You guys already know this build by watching me so many times. You're just going to take a left. You're going to pop on over, grab big swings right here. Keep going up top. Grab Master Key, one of the most underrated perks in the game. We'll explain later. And of course, popping over to get Violent. Okay? Once again, a slight change to his abilities and perks. Nothing changes on this. Animal Farm. Once again, such an underrated grandpa perk. It's ridiculous that distance that it procs at. The 3 perks that you're going to want to use is Master Key. You can instantly burst through a latch door 5 times. Trust me, instead of taking an additional 7 seconds to cut it down, just barge it. Okay? Big swings. We know our attack damage is increased by 15%, but stamina consumption tied to attack is 200. Again, doesn't matter on Bubba. And we're going with Violent because we don't have time to feed as Leatherface. We are a hunter. That is our job. I should not be taking 11 seconds away from revving somewhere to feed Grandpa. That is your job. And again, I don't feed ever. But with a full vial, you don't have to feed. You don't want to feed because now you have an increased damage of 20% on top of the 15% that you get with big swings. Stacking around 35% extra damage per swing is crazy. Is crazy. You're going to pop up, max out the savagery, put the rest in blood harvesting. You don't care about endurance with Bubba. It doesn't make a difference. We might as well get a little bit more blood just in case we do want to feed. But again, it doesn't matter. Okay? Absolutely. The best build for Bubba is back. Big swings time, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't be more excited. Okay. That officially is the build video for all family members updated on October 22nd, 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. Again, please don't forget to drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell and subscribe, okay? That way you guys get notified every time I go live here on YouTube, over on Twitch, and of course, anytime that I bring you guys any new content regarding TCM and future video games. All right, it's been an absolute pleasure. Once again, let me know what you guys think. What builds are you running? Drop a comment down below. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the support, especially in these build videos. You guys keep coming back. Much love. Thank you. Well, guys, we'll catch you on the next video. Y'all take care now. Peace out.